All right, so today was weird for me in terms of the Promptober situation because I was sort of juggling around with definitions, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's just jump into it and we'll walk through it. So, do I want to be up here today or down here? Let's do down here today because I was up there yesterday. On Inktober's side of things, we are on the 19th, so we have Ridge. And this is immediately where I was just kind of on the fence as to what definition am I going to go with. So, from what I gathered, the definition of ridge was just sort of like two geographic plates that sort of bunched up together. And that sounds to me like a mountain. But so it's like, okay, so how do I do a ridge that's not just kind of a mountain or just like a mountain range kind of thing? So that was mainly the one that I had the most problem with, and it sort of shows during the whole thing. So let's add Creeptober into things and then let's get into it in reality. So Creeptober adds the context of spell. We got spell. So we have Ridge Spell. Spell Ridge? Sounds like a really weird saloon somewhere. Hey, welcome to Spell Ridge. There's spooky shenanigans happening here. And in retrospect, I probably could have done something like that, where I could have just had the two troublemakers like walking into an old timey sort of like Western village, or not village, town. And then above it says welcome to, and then it's like Spell Ridge or something. That might have been cheating the prompt a little bit. But, anyways, this is what I ended up doing. For this one, I started off with the thing that bothered me the most between the two prompts, which was the ridge. And throughout the creation of this scene, the ridge will continuously just sort of bother me throughout various points of the creation. So what I basically did was look up a couple definitions, and then when those sort of fell short to paint the picture in my mind, I went to the Google Images side of things and just sort of tried to recreate what I saw in those images. Like, I just took the average of those images. So here I add the context as to why they're on a ridge and why spells are being slung. And I didn't really know what to do as far as the spell itself. So we have the classic Dragon Ball pose and what's going to be the spell. I guess I could have had the demon, the Final Fantasy boss at the end of the ridge casting the spell, but then what are our troublemakers going to do and how are they going to survive to day 20? Yeah, day 20. So the spell itself kind of robs a lot of my attention because I start to get really enamored in the effects there. And later on, I kind of lament at not spending more time in trying to figure out the dynamics of the ridge itself. So this is one of the things that kind of robbed my time, which was adding lightning to an effect that already kind of looked cool in my opinion. But I just decided like it needs a little more dynamics. So there's nothing more dynamic than lightning, right? But the things that I really didn't like about the ridge was the perception of depth, really. Like it still kind of just looks like a sand dune or like a small mound sort of thing. And I don't know, I need to work on that. I think correct lighting could have helped, but yeah, it just wasn't happening here today. And then after I stopped beating myself up about the ridge shape and depth and shadows and stuff like that, my attention sort of went skyward a little bit, and I continuously looked at the clouds and was just like, so why do we see clouds at night? or at least even a blue sky. And so I gave it a little bit of context. The only time that I've ever seen a relatively blue sky with clouds in there and everything sort of looks like night is an eclipse. So this is what we end up with.